Hi, I'm Cindy from livingincycles.blog. Welcome to the first video here on my channel. When was the last time you found something that explained the world to you? What I found in the beginning of 2020 and how it describes the foundation of life and all that is, you will learn in this video. I also got a free printable for you that you can use to improve your own life and that of the people around you. Keep watching. Welcome back. I want to start this channel with a topic that has become very dear to me, namely the concept of Ma'at. I have prepared a short presentation to show you where the concept of Ma'at is coming from and what it means. Let's start. The title of this first video is What Keeps the World Turning? Cosmic Order and the 42 Ideas of Ma'at. What is Ma'at? Ma'at is a central concept in ancient Egyptian culture, and it is special because it connects all aspects of life, social, political, spiritual. There is no single word in other languages that could describe the concept of Ma'at, but there are a few words that help us to understand the concept of Ma'at. Words like truth, justice, order, wisdom, righteousness, sincerity, and balance. Ma'at is said to be the cosmic order established through creation. Without Ma'at, there would be chaos. There would be no structure, no meaning, nothing would exist. It is said that Ma'at regulates the motion of the stars and the seasons and maintains the whole universe. Therefore, Ma'at is the foundation of all life. In ancient Egyptian culture, different attributes of the creative force, or God or source, however you want to call it, got signified by different gods. The concept of Ma'at was symbolized by the goddess Ma'at, and the goddess Ma'at was depicted as a beautiful young woman with an ostrich feather on her head. Sometimes she was depicted having wings and holding an ankh and a scepter. Ma'at was thought to be the daughter of the sun god Ra and the wife of Jehuti, also known as Thoth, and associated with Hermes and Mercury. In the book The Sacred Tradition in Ancient Egypt, The Esoteric Wisdom by Rosemary Clark, you can find a good explanation and description of what Jehuti and Ma'at stands for. I will read a few passages for you. Jehuti personifies the primeval magus, performing the final stage of synthesis between energy and matter. He articulates the divine word, which sets into motion the rhythm of life. The complementary process is ensured by Ma'at, who fabricates for all life, inclusive of the animal, plant, and mineral kingdoms, the physical pattern that embodies the rhythm of each form. Jehuti represents the principle of resonance, and Ma'at the principle of natural order. Jehuti and Ma'at represent the expression of cosmic intelligence, and their realm encompasses the continuity of past, present, and future in the action of heavenly bodies. Why do we need Ma'at? According to ancient Egyptian understanding, the creation has a tendency to regress into chaos. Therefore, it is the task of the human race, and especially that of the pharaoh, to establish and hold up Ma'at here on earth. The state was not only a political structure, but also a symbol of divine order that ensures its continuation. Ma'at was the ideology and ethical foundation of the state. But Ma'at was also at the center of every Egyptian's life, because it determines what happens to you after death. The Egyptians believed that once you are dead, you travel to the underworld. Many things happen in the underworld, but the most fundamental and crucial thing happening is the weighing of the heart. During the weighing of the heart, the feather of Ma'at was the most important symbol. The feather stands for all Ma'at represents. So your heart was thought of being the source of all your actions, of all what you are doing, of your whole life. It was not the brain regulating your life, not the brain what determines how you act. It was thought to be your heart. And your heart would be weighed against the concept of Ma'at. If the heart is in balance with the feather or lighter than the feather, you would be permitted to enter the afterlife. You would be considered being ma kheru, which means true of voice. And to what this relates, we will learn in a minute. But if your heart would be heavier than the feather of Ma'at, the Egyptians thought that a monster called Amud would devour it. And according to one version of the story, you would just vanish. Here you can see a scene of the weighing of the heart, of the judgment of the dead. How do we know what it means to live a life according to Ma'at? As I said earlier, if your heart would be lighter than the feather of Ma'at or in balance with the feather of Ma'at, you would be considered being Ma kheru, true of voice. And this relates to the so-called negative confession, which you are supposed to recite in front of 42 judges in the hall of Ma'at. The negative confession can be found in chapter 125 in the so-called Book of the Dead, which is literally translating into Book of Coming Forth by Day. The negative confession gives a good picture about what it means to live according to the laws of Ma'at. There's also a modern version called the 42 Positive Affirmations, created by 9 priestesses of the Temple of Isis. This is the free printable I have been talking about in the beginning. It contains the 42 positive affirmations. I will read them for you now. I honor virtue. I benefit with gratitude. I am peaceful. I respect the property of others. I affirm that all life is sacred. I give offerings that are genuine. I live in truth. I regard all altars with respect. I speak with sincerity. I consume only my fair share. I offer words of good intent. I relate in peace. I honor animals with reverence. I can be trusted. I care for the earth. I keep my own counsel. I speak positively of others. I remain in balance with my emotions. I am trustful in my relationships. I hold purity in high esteem. I spread joy. I do the best I can. I communicate with compassion. I listen to opposing opinions. I create harmony. I invoke laughter. I am open to love in various forms. I am forgiving. I am kind. I act respectfully of others. I am accepting. I follow my inner guidance. I converse with awareness. I do good. I give blessings. I keep the waters pure. I speak with good intent. I praise the goddess and the god. I am humble. I achieve with integrity. I advance through my own abilities. I embrace the all. When reading through the 42 positive affirmations, you notice that there's a special essence of Ma'at coming forth. And actually, it is all about how we relate to one another and our environment. It is about community and solidarity, about choosing what is right for ourselves, but also for other people. The Egyptians thought that you should live Ma'at with your hand, your ear, mouth, and heart, with everything you are. It is about speaking and doing Ma'at. Let's talk about astrological associations. Ma'at is a very broad concept, and it is not possible to assign a single sign or single planet to this concept. However, there are, I think, 2 planets and 2 signs that can help us to understand the concept of Ma'at. The first sign is the sign of Aquarius, the water bearer. Aquarius is the masculine domicile of planet Saturn. It is a fixed air sign. The air element is all about ideas, transmission, communication, connection. The fixed modality is about stability, perseverance, endurance, and continuity. When you go deep into the concept of Ma'at, you notice that these are actually the foundation of the whole concept, especially the assignment with structure and order, which are also assigned mostly to planet Saturn. The second sign, I think, that can help us to understand the concept of Ma'at is Libra, the scales. Libra is the masculine domicile of planet Venus, and it is a cardinal air sign. So again, we have the air element here, which is all about connection, community, people coming together, personal relationships. But now we have the cardinal modality, which is all about initiation, action, beginnings. Libra is also the sign of exaltation for planet Saturn. Libra is associated with the court, law, judges. It is also a symbol for Lady Justice. Whereas Aquarius is concerned more with the broader picture of society and societal structures, Libra is concerned with personal relationships. And these associations are pretty interesting for one reason. Astrologically, we are at the beginning of a whole new era. And this is indicated by a conjunction of the planets Jupiter and Saturn in the sign of Aquarius on December 21st, 2020. Jupiter and Saturn meet every 20 years. And for a time span of 200 to 240 years, they meet in signs of the same element. For the past 200 to 240 years, Saturn and Jupiter met in signs of the Earth element. And this year's conjunction is special because from now on, they will meet in signs of the air element. So we are shifting from Earth to air, which is concerned more with the community, with connection, sharing information relating to people. The last air elemental cycle took place 800 years ago, so very, very long time ago. And I feel it may be a good time to get ourselves reminded what is the foundation of our society. I personally believe that the laws of Ma'at were written deep into our hearts. We all have an idea what it means to live a life in harmony with a fellow man, but we also live in difficult times, and I feel that it requires a lot of consciousness and strong will to stay on the path of Ma'at. Therefore, walking with the 42 ideas can help us to stay on the path of light and life. What you can do is to take a moment in the morning, read the positive affirmations, and maybe pick one or two you want to meditate upon during the day. In the evening, you could take the negative confession, read it, and maybe you find one or two, maybe more, you feel that you need to improve. Besides the free printable I provide for you, there are many other tools you can use to keep yourself conscious and guided throughout daily life. One of these is the Amenti Oracle Featherheart deck by Jennifer Sardini and Natalie Miller. It is a beautiful deck and it contains the 42 positive affirmations. It will help you to stay focused and to live a life in the spirit of Ma'at. As I said, the concept of Ma'at is very broad and it is not possible to speak about everything relating to this concept in a short presentation like this. If you are interested in learning more, please check out the description box below. I will put some links in there about books and also conversations about Kemetic spirituality, which are pretty interesting and help us to understand the concept of Ma'at. That's it for this time. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you like, please leave a comment and let me know what tools you use to keep yourself conscious and guided throughout everyday life. I wish you a heart full of hope and light as a feather. See you next time.